Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If you feel like going the extra mile and supporting the channel, I have a Patreon set up just for that. Thanks again and enjoy the video. Hey guys, Joe here at Crack and Delight, and today what I've got for you is my first experience at an Armory event. Now, the shop that I did play at was one that I've mentioned before, and as you see on the screen, it's NC Games. But be sure to check them out if you are in the Chicagoland area and you're just looking to pick up some TCGs in terms of like sealed product singles, or you're just looking to go somewhere to play. But yeah, let's get right into it. Going in, I knew the event would be a sealed play event using 6 packs of Arcane Rising, and that the pricing would be for this event would be from Armory kits. As you can see, the beauties shown right here, all the wonderful cold foils, rainbow foils, and such that are given out with the Armory kits. So I can say I was pretty hyped to play in the event. I definitely was excited like I said, this is my first Armory event, technically, because I haven't really had time to play in any in Chicago. There aren't very many in the city. There are definitely plenty in the surrounding areas, but I have limited access to transportation. Plus, we've had some really poopy weather in terms of snowfall and such. But yeah, going into the event, due to COVID-19 restrictions, the amount of players was limited. It was limited to an 8-player cap. You'll see throughout the video that you'll see some gameplay with, glass up, a little bit more spaced out. It was a little bit harder to record just because people had to be spaced out due to COVID-19 restrictions. Also, my camera did die, so some matches do get cut off, but I did throw a few of them in here so you guys can see how those went. It is a bit oddly set up, like I said, because of the COVID-19. Some players did forget that the camera was on in terms of how they were spacing out their mats and stuff. So you'll see in a few of them, some players, it looks like they're going just off camera. But that was just because, like I said, the restrictions and such. But yeah, how the event was set up in terms of COVID-19, I would say it was set up pretty okay. There are definitely a few things I would change in terms of how I would set up my shop or tables. But it definitely was spacious enough. There wasn't obviously crowding, and people seemed like they were enjoying themselves and felt safe. So going into my packs, I didn't open anything too nuts in terms of card value. I did open a Mordred Tide, which did feel pretty good, but I didn't have enough Arcanite stuff to actually make Viserai as my hero, which kind of felt bad because I did pull it and I did really want to use it. But in terms of opening value, I didn't open any legendaries. I don't think anyone opened any legendaries, or no one really said anything. I feel like there would have been, a nice hooray if someone did pull it, because hey, even if you don't do well in the sealed play, you did open a legendary. But yeah, my packs were definitely heavily weighed in one hero's direction, as it did probably for most. But mine happened to be Azalea, which is Rangers. I have never once touched Rangers, so I was a bit nervous going into playing them. I have watched someone play them before, but outside of deck constructing, my gameplay mechanics of Ranger were mediocre at best. Now, of course, this doesn't mean I didn't have fun. Going into it, there were other people who were fairly new, just like me, or actually just straight new from the sealed play. Probably the most fun thing that I had playing Azalea, because like I said, I was learning it, was I did pull off, I wouldn't really call it a combo, but it did feel really great because it consisted of a red come to fight, a yellow come to fight, and then a take aim, and I already had a yellow headshot in my arsenal face up. So the headshot did, I believe it was about 12 damage, which felt really nice because it helped me win the game that I was playing. The tournament itself only consisted of 3 rounds with no cut at the top. This was the case since this was the shop's first Armory event, and they didn't quite have a hang on how the layout should be, but it was also meant for new players to come and have fun. I think it was also, in my opinion, I think it was a smart idea for now, just for the fact of COVID, just because you don't want a bunch of people in the same room for X amount of time, which, could be different for different areas. But it was, I think, a smart idea, just since it was the first event this store was doing, so they wanted to see what turnout was like, and just to see how many people they can get in the store at a safe distance and stuff like that. In the end, I ended up only winning 1 and losing 2, which sucks, but I felt great overall since I was finally able to play some physical flesh and blood at a shop. This isn't just in terms of flesh and blood. This is moreover for something else, because I do play Magic and I do play other card games, but it's been a year now in which I haven't really played any physical card games. I haven't come together with my play groups like in person, and we haven't been able to do that because of COVID-19. So going a year without doing that because you were kind of forced away, and now we were able to finally come together and play a tournament. It felt really good. Like, I didn't care that I lost. I was just happy to be there, interact with people, and play. So even though I only won X2, I can definitely say I did have some fun. In terms of prizing itself, I was expecting the layout to be more of a top player layout. In terms of X player gets X prize if they are first, and then a breakdown. Moreover, I would expect it to probably be to like third place, in which it's like changing in prizing, and then all the other prizing is just for, you know, players just playing. That's where I was kind of expecting more over like the cold foils to go, but it didn't really play out like that. For example, I won X2 and the prizes were just randomly distributed to players. Players picked a box and they were randomly given a prize. My prize was a cold foil KO, which, as you can see by this beauty right here, I was quite excited because yes, I do have some cold foils, but I haven't had any cold foil heroes. Just because I didn't really, you know, have the chance to play in these events, or I wasn't lucky enough to be some of the first people to get them. So I personally was happy, but in terms of if I was the player who, let's say, got first, I don't know what the player who got first got, but if I didn't get something along those lines, like let's say someone got the data doll and they were last place, they'll be like me and they feel great, but then first place only gets, you know, let's say some rainbow foils, they'll probably feel a little bit, you know, upset. And it's not like this was a free tournament. If it was a free tournament, then by all means the store has the right, you know, to do pricing however they want. That doesn't mean the store still has to follow it. The store still does have the right to do pricing however they want, but you're gonna drive away your player base if you don't do it in a certain way. If it was a free tournament, by all means, be random, because then you're bringing community together, having some people have some fun, play together, and then prizing is just distributed randomly. That would make sense for something like this, but it wasn't a free tournament. It was, the entry fee for this tournament was $45, which sounds expensive, but you have to, since it was sealed, you do have to pay for your packs, and the Arcane Rising packs are a little bit expensive because they're about $5 a pack. So you were paying about $35 for your packs and then a $10 entry. The $10 entry is where I'd like to think, you know, oh, I'm paying $10, that means prize layout for top players and yonder are gonna get this. Like, first place gets cold foil X hero, second place gets cold foil X hero, third place gets a mat, and then it continues on. That doesn't mean necessarily after third place people still get stuff. They probably got some like entry prize and stuff like that, but doesn't really mean you have to give them something. But I can see where possibly, because I didn't get a chance to talk to everyone after the event because I did have to head out. People did seem like they were happy, but I didn't get like I said, I didn't get a chance to talk to everyone, so I don't know how everyone felt about it. Personally, if I was going into that event, and let's say it's not even sealed play, let's say it's a construct event, I'm bringing my top level deck, and I'm paying, I wouldn't think I'd pay $45 because if it's not sealed play, but even if it's $10, I'm paying $10 for an entry, and then I'm going to go in and play, get first place, and then I'm not even guaranteed my prize because it would be, you know, something random. So, you know, that was a little something that I thought was a little bit odd. Like I said, it's up to the store to determine how they want to do it, but overall it still was fun. It was definitely a fun tournament. By the gameplay, as you can see throughout the video, some of us were learning, some of us are experienced, and there definitely was a sense of, you know, learning through from everyone. Like, I do understand like some of the mechanics, but in terms of like actually playing the game, I haven't really played much aside from Tabletop Simulator and some webcam games with some friends. So it definitely was, you know, a fun experience. But closing thoughts, it was, like I said, as I've said multiple times in this video, it was fun. In terms of deck diversity, I feel like a lot of people kind of got forced into some decks because I I know I played Azalea, and I think there were 2 other guys who played Azalea, and then I think it was some Kano decks, some Wizard decks, and then I think there were 2 Arcanite decks, if I remember. But I think that's how it was. I can't remember, because that's 3, 2, 7. There's one more deck. I can't remember what the last deck was, but that was the general layout from how I saw people playing. But everyone was having fun. Like, no one felt like, you know, their deck was too underwhelmed or something like that, or at least from what I was getting, gauging from them. Definitely, as time goes on, I will see if I would be playing more events. I definitely will try to play more at this store as time goes on and see how those go. But it is winter, so it is a little bit harder for me to play just because, you know, transportation and such. But also, you know, work also keeps me busy. So we'll see how often I play. But I do plan to play more in the future in Chicago as more shops come up. I have actually been talking with another shop. They are actually just starting up. I'm not going to mention their name because they haven't, I don't believe they've officially been added to the site yet. But I have been helping them in terms of getting certified and help them get started. And they are actually friends of mine from when I first started playing other card games like years ago. So we'll definitely see how that goes in terms of the future. But as always, guys, it is a pleasure to have you guys here watching the video and supporting the channel. If you like the video or have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. And again, don't be afraid to like, comment, and subscribe. But thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.